The time check was brought to you by Seiko.
Welcome back. The wife of former Chief Secretary for Administration, Raphael Hui, says he will appeal his guilty verdict. Hui was convicted on 5 of 8 corruption-related charges yesterday. Liz Yoon has more.
Raphael Hui was sent to Lai Chi Kok Reception Center after he was found guilty of 5 of his charges. His wife, Teresa Low, visited him at the center this morning. Low said her husband will be appealing his guilty verdict. In doing so, he may need to apply for legal aid. Calling Hui's lavish spending one of his biggest flaws, Low said she's prepared that he could be serving time. She said, fortunately, she has been keeping their finances separate. Low also offered a piece of advice to all couples that women should be smart about their own money. After spending 2 hours at the center, Low told the media that Hui didn't sleep well last night and felt cold. Another defendant, Thomas Kwok, is being detained at the same center after he was convicted of 1 charge. His legal representative, Claire Montgomery, visited him.
I have no comment.
Kwok has resigned as chairman of Sun Hung Kai Properties, and his brother Raymond, who was acquitted, will take sole charge of the developer. In what's dubbed Hong Kong's largest corruption trial, 4 of the 5 defendants, Hui, Thomas Kwok, Thomas Chan and Francis Kwan, were convicted of various offences. The court will hear mitigation pleas on Monday before sentencing. Liz Yun, TVB News.
Secretary for Labor and Welfare Matthew Chung has not ruled out prosecuting ATV for not paying its staff their November salaries. Chung said the government is highly concerned about the case and is seeking advice from the Secretary for Justice. He warned ATV management it could face 3 years in jail on top of fines. Chung said 5 employers have been jailed this year over owed salaries. Labor Department staff will brief ATV employees on Monday on their labor rights and what they can do in this situation. It is the second time in 3 months ATV has failed to pay its workers on time, and its news department has warned it will go on strike if staff don't get paid by the end of the month.
Turning overseas again, a Turkish court has issued an arrest warrant for US-based Muslim cleric Fethullah Gulen, a former ally of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. The Turkish government has accused Gulen's movement of orchestrating a plot to overthrow it. It says Gulen's followers in the police force and judiciary are behind corruption allegations that targeted Erdogan's family and forced 4 ministers to resign. Demonstrators gathered outside a courthouse in Istanbul to protest against the warrant, as well as the arrests of 4 others detained in recent raids on media outlets affiliated with Gulen. Protesters accuse the government of suppressing the media. The US and Turkey have an extradition treaty, but it's unclear if the evidence would meet American criteria for Gulen's extradition.
United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon yesterday paid his first visit to Liberia and Sierra Leone since the start of the deadly Ebola outbreak. He was accompanied by Margaret Chan, Director General of the World Health Organization. Traditional West African practices such as washing the bodies of the dead by hand at funerals have helped spread the disease.
It might have been very difficult to change some long-held tradition and culture, but it's absolutely necessary to abide by WHO health guidelines, what we call protocol. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to contain this virus and make it a zero-case goal achieved.
Ban also praised healthcare workers for their work in fighting the Ebola outbreak. More than 18,000 cases have now been reported. Nearly 7,000 people have died. The UN chief is visiting Guinea and Mali today.
9 people were injured and 1 is missing after a volcano in eastern Indonesia erupted. Mount Gamalama on Ternate Island in North Maluku province shot thick grey smoke up to 2,000 meters into the sky just before midnight on Thursday. Slow-moving lava was visible at the peak of the eruption yesterday. Villages were blanketed with thick ash, but no evacuation orders were issued. 9 panicked hikers were injured while scrambling for safety. 4 of them were hospitalized. Rescuers continue to search for a missing hiker. A budget airline in Australia has landed itself on passenger naughty lists. An IT systems failure at Jetstar has delayed thousands of passengers. Large queues of travellers have formed at Sydney Airport after the system outage disrupted operations across its Australia and New Zealand network. Parts of the system are now back online, but many travellers are still battling long delays. All right, Chris, over to you for sports.
And a little basketball. NBA and former All-Star Rajon Rondo should make his debut with the Dallas Mavericks tonight at home against the San Antonio Spurs. Rondo comes over from Boston and joins a championship contender. Jameson Wong has more.
Big 3? How about Big 5? Not those 5, however, but the Dallas Mavericks